Robot Online. Robot Online.
Hi guys, well I've got another review for you today. This is the Patient Zero 1-to-1 bust from Sideshow Collectibles. The Dead series from Sideshow is obviously it's their kind of homebrew product. It's not related to any film franchise at all. It's gone down really well with collectors. Obviously it started off in the 6 scale line and it ran for a few years, and then last year we saw two pretty impressive premium formats by way of the Patient Zero, who this character is based on, and then of course we saw the Undying Carcass. So today I've got the life-size version of Patient Zero. I picked this up a couple of weeks ago. I had this one off play.com. It was one of those pieces where I'd order it and then cancel it and reordered it again. And let's see if it's any good. Let's take a closer look. Okay, well let's start with the front to begin with. It's nicely sculpted. Obviously when something is nicely sculpted, you know, it then comes down to the paintwork. And if the paintwork is a bit slapdash, then it lets the piece down. So it's an excellent sculpt, and also, which is nice, is that it's been painted really well. Some of these wounds on this character look really gruesome. You can probably see the one on the chest if I just tilt the camera down for you a little bit. There you go. And what's nice about these is that rather than splashing just a single coat of red blood, there does seem to be a few colours going on in there. I can see some deep reds, some browns, and some blacks in there, and some blacks in there as well. So, and although that combination of all those colours, it gives it depth, it gives it a good feeling of reality. And if you look across the front of the chest, you can see again that they haven't gone with a single colour. There's lots of various kind of creams, browns. There's like a mustard colour, and then in some of the ingrained flesh, you've got it's going towards sort of a black or a grey going on in there. And you can probably see this kind of like a patchwork effect going on, where it gives the feeling that you've got the rib cage underneath. Obviously it's a zombie, so he's not in the best of health, so he's a pretty skinny chap. And then if we turn the piece round a little bit, you can see a bit more of the side. You've got a wound on the back of the neck. Let me just go up a little bit for you. So you've got a wound on the back of the neck there. And these are pretty deep wounds. I mean, what's nice about this is that these are sort of like 1/4 of an inch deep, some of these. They really do look quite gruesome. As you can see on the shirt, it's been dirtied up and splashed with blood. And again, it's all been done pretty well thought out. It's not like on some of the pieces. It looks a bit too symmetrical sometimes on some of the Sideshow pieces. But now all this, you know, it looks very genuine. You've got lots of reds and browns stains on the shirt. If we continue around to the back, I'll just pan out a little bit for you there. Let's have a look at the top of the head. You've got a few wounds on the top of the head, and if we continue around this way, you've got another one there where it looks like it's taken the flesh away, and you can see some of the sort of grey skull of the character. I think the eyes have changed slightly from the early pre-production model. As I recall, the original the original bust, before it was released, were in like a white opaque colour on the eyes, but on these production pieces it's been painted sort of a yellowy green colour. So I'll just show you a few more close-ups of those wounds and you can make up your own mind. You can see by the teeth as well that how well it's painted. There's not much overlap onto the inner skin. It's all very neatly done. And one of the other things that can sometimes fail on some pieces is that in some of these deep areas, these areas that recess quite a lot, it's difficult to get the painting. And on this particular one, the paint goes all the way back into the back of the throat, and the tongue is all painted well. And the close-up of the eye with the green or yellowy wash. Hopefully this film is picking up all the textures and cracks in the skin. The other thing I just wanted to point out are these veins, and some of these veins are part of the sculpt, so they are actually raised up on the head. But the smaller veins that you can probably just about pick up around the rest of the sculpts are obviously painted. And credit where credit is due, because sometimes when these veins are painted, a bit like on my wolf bust inside the mouth, it feels like the veins have just been painted onto the surface if they haven't been done very well. But on this occasion, these veins have been done so well that it does give a good feeling that they are underneath the skin and not just on top of the skin. So like I say, credit where credit's due. The painters have done exceptional work on this. Just to finish up, I'll just take you down to the bottom of the piece. Well, that's just about the end of this review. Is there any bad points with this bust? I can't think of any, to be honest with you. If I had to be really picky, I would say that the base is a bit rough and ready. It's not smooth at all, but it may be intentional on Sideshow's behalf because it's a zombie. Perhaps they've left it this kind of rough and lumpy effect on the base. These are still, to my amazement, available on Sideshow Collectibles, although from the last newsletter it's saying that there's only a few left now. I had this from play.com and they have them in stock as well. So anyone who is thinking about having this piece and is on the fence, to be honest with you, I'd pick this up now, because you are going to kick yourselves if this sells out, because that means of course it's dreaded eBay, and then you are going to end up spending really big money on this piece. So get this thing while it's in stock now, because it is absolutely phenomenal. I know it's not tied into a movie franchise, so there might be people sort of holding back because of that reason, but hey, you know, a zombie is a zombie. And most of these guys are only on scene for a few seconds or a couple of minutes, so it doesn't really matter. It's a phenomenal piece. Like I say, Sideshow have done really, really well with this line of characters, so it's highly recommended. Definitely pick it up. Just to finish off, I just want to say thanks to Danny Vegas. he made a nice comments on his last video about my review on the Arnold bust, so thanks to that. He's just had the C3PO bust, which is one that I'm looking to actually pick up as well if possible. It's a phenomenal piece. I had my concerns about the C3PO bust, as probably did a lot of people, on that gold paint, but it seems like it's turned out well and there's no problems with it at all. If you think about it, Sideshow have been having a good run, because I know on one or two pieces in the past we've had quality issues, but in recent months, well, in the past month in fact, we've seen the release of Patient Zero and Boba Fett and C3PO, and all of them have turned out fantastic. So Sideshow are on a really good run at the moment, and so yeah, pick this up, get it now, or pay for it, and I mean pay for it later on, because this, in a few years time, I can see this going for really big money, so get it now. The other thing I was going to mention, thanks to Eric, or Bookhouse Boy, he contacted me and asked me if I wanted a bit of a tune at the beginning of my intro page, so he kindly emailed me an MP3 of a little jingle, as what we call it in the UK, which is basically a short sound effect or piece of music to go with my front end title. So cheers Eric, that's very kind of you, mate, much appreciated. So that's the lot. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks.